Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby and today we're taking a look at the Pewag LT studded truck snow chain here on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. So this is going to be a very aggressive option to allow us to start having a lot of fun, primarily if we're going to be experiencing a lot of heavy duty ice and snow, especially in those backwoods areas. So definitely not going to be road safe. These studs are going to do a number to either your garage or your driveway. So let's make sure we actually have the conditions to make sure we can actually put these on. Otherwise, these studs are really going to do a number. Now, I do like the steel construction of this guy, making sure that it's nice and tough for ourselves to go ahead and handle that heavy duty application that we're going to be experiencing. Now to that end, going to be a little bit more important to do a little more maintenance on these guys, as we don't have some of the qualities that some of the other chains might have, just in terms of protection against corrosive agents. To that regard, let's make sure we are spraying this down if we do find ourselves getting any kind of contact with salt or other agents on the road. But again, just getting these guys in a nice cool place to dry is going to go a long way. Now these studs are very aggressive here. If we're taking a look here, we have our twisted links, and on top of that, these studs are adding, you guys can see, about 2 fingers worth there for myself. And that 7mm chain as well is just nice and thick, making sure it's doing a great job of churning through that snow and ice. And we also do have a ladder style chain on here. That's giving us these big gaps, almost wider than my hand fully spread is doing. Now what that's given us, excellent start and stop control for ourselves, as we're going to have to get over those hills and valleys every time. And again, with how aggressive these chains are, we're going to have no trouble biting through that snow and that ice. So what's awesome about these guys, yes, they're going to be very aggressive. They're not going to actually be too hard to get on here. Now we are going to find ourselves underneath our vehicle and on the underside, so not going to be the most fun in the snow and the mud and all that ice. But what is nice about it, we have these cam tighteners. What I love about these guys, makes it a lot easier to actually get on. It's going to stay a little loose, and then all we have to do, bring those guys in line, and it really cinches it up nice and tight here on our wheel. Now a couple little caveats before we get to our installation with these guys though. We are having it here on our front tire. That's because primarily all Gladiators are going to come standard with our 4x4 drivetrain, of course. So we're going to have all 4 wheels working in tandem for ourselves. What I'd say about that, it's going to be easier and safer for yourself just to go ahead and grab 2 pairs of chains. That way you have one for the front and the back. If you're deciding between 2, well, there's a lot of factors to consider, and it's really there's no consensus on the matter. A lot of people like it here in the front because as we start kind of coming to a stop, that weight of our vehicle shifts forward, and we really want this doing a great job of churning through and getting that traction, right? But to that end, you know, a lot of us are probably going to be taking these kind of in the backwoods a little more, a lot less road driving with these guys because we have that aggressive option there, right? In that regards, it may be better to put on the back. But again, it kind of comes back to it. These guys, if you're really trying to just have some fun and making sure you're not getting stuck anywhere, 2 pairs is really going to go a long way. The other thing is we are working here today on 255 70 R18 tires. Let's make sure we're putting our own tire size into the fit guide here at etrailer.com. That way, we're getting the right fit for ourselves at home. But otherwise, I think that about does it for our little caveats. Let us see how we can actually get it installed. To begin your installation, what you want to do, just lay out your chain just like you're seeing it here. What we're looking for, any kind of kinks or binds that our chains might have kind of happened or kind of accumulated while in storage. Now, going to be really simple just to walk them out. A lot of times your chains are just simply kind of run on each other. Just got to walk them out real easy. A big thing to take note, let's make sure our cams are open though and not tight, as we are going to need the maximum amount of chain to fit onto our wheel and then tighten it up later. A couple other things to take note, of course, make sure those cams are towards the outside, as that's where we'll be tightening them up. And then let's make sure our hard points of contact are facing up and away. We don't really want these guys making contact with our wheel, and we're going to be setting this on our tire. Therefore, we want them up towards the sky as I go to grab it. Well, now I just need to bring myself here to the middle of my chain. And what I like to do, kind of even myself up here. Bring your chain up a little, and then you kind of see I kind of wing it out here with my elbows. Why I do that, makes it a little easier to get that above my rim, and then to just gently set my chain around my wheel. Now I'm just fitting it here towards the back of my tire, checking my connection points, making sure I'm going to have the room to actually get these guys connected. I can see that I need to shift this over just a little bit here. And another thing I'm looking for, making sure that my chains are perpendicular between my side chains here. That way we're getting a uniform fit all the way around our wheel. Now we need to make our first connection on the other side of our tire. I'm going to start with just our third chain, looping it in. As I take a look here, I'm making sure that we're not interacting too poorly with our sidewall. I like that it's sitting here and not on the inside towards my rim. And of course, just checking the top, we seem to be in a pretty good spot there. With our back connection made, we can begin to make our front connection. Simply want to take our chain here and loop it through. Looks like I'm going to get to the third from the front, or the end of my chain. Simply slot that on just like so. And now we are going to be a little loose, right? So I kind of want to reseat my chain, make it as most of a uniform fit as I can. And now we need to grab our little cam tightener. That is going to be included with your purchase as well. So let's grab that tool, start tightening up our cams. Now with our cam tightener in hand, we simply take these guys, tighten them up just like so. And we got one more down here, just like so. And now we are sitting nice and tight here on our wheel. So as it stands, I probably don't think we need a rubber tensioner. That's one thing I love about these cam systems. You can see I'm getting a really good fit here. Can't really pull any of these chains off, maybe more towards the bottom here, but again, a really nice fit, and we are well and installed. Otherwise, though, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Pewag LT studded truck chains here on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.